No, I don't think I'd do that, Mike, because I would have to have some kind of neural link and learn how to use the extra hands with my mind somehow. I feel like that would be too complicated. I mean, unless if I'm finding. No, well. You know what? It might be badass. If I could give them AI, that might be life changing. Can you imagine me just having extra arms for everything I do wherever I go? That actually is a great idea. You know what? I'm gonna add that to my notes. I think I should do it. I think you're absolutely right. Um, when I start thinking of the implications and the possibilities long term, imagine me going bowling and I have my AI octopus arm on my exosuit roll perfect strikes for me every time. Nobody can complain because I'll say I need to wear this for medical reasons and it's part of my body. And just because my body is cybernetically enhanced doesn't mean I'm cheating in bowling. Or if I get tired, I could just have the exoskeleton and its robot arms dig for me if I'm digging a hole or something. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Wow. Mike, you're really onto something. I gotta tell you, I'm taking all the credit for this idea. Sorry. This is too good of an idea to admit someone on Twitch told me it. Wake up. Press semicolon. Also, comma, I want to add a couple of robot arms so that I have 4 arms like Dr. Octopus. And these can be used as helping hands to hold tools for me, comma, hand me things, comma, press delete. Stop listening. Holy crap, I can't help but laugh. Give myself a high five. That's amazing. But no, I'm picturing like I'm sitting on a chair and I'm working on a car. I'm working on a car engine. And the extra robot arms have to be given a name, like I mean Dr. Octopus, maybe I'll call him Doctor. So I gotta it helps to give something a name to conceptualize it as an entity outside of yourself that you're working with. And it's got to be voice controlled in addition to AI. And it will have webcams mounted on its hands so these hands can see what they're doing. Um, so I'm sitting on a bucket, I'm working on a car engine or whatever that's on a mount. And you know, I'm turning a wrench. I've got my exoscoot, so I'm enhanced in strength, and I'm able to turn the wrench very easily. I'm turning a wrench, and then I want the next tool. And I say, Doctor, hand me the scalpel. Or, scalpel, hand me the crescent wrench, 5/8. And it will go into my wrench stuff and pick it up and hand it to my left or right hand, and then I continue. Or I could have them, I could say, unscrew these 3 bolts. And now the 2 hands are each unscrewing a bolt while I'm over here doing something else. And so I could have 2 bolts unscrewing while I'm organizing some tools. Gosh, I could be instructing my own arms on what to do, and they can do it simultaneously while I'm doing something else with my other 2 arms. And my 2 arms have superhuman speed, strength, and precision because they're exoskeleton enhanced. Man, I think I want 4 arms then. Man, I could like be juggling over here, fixing a car engine over here, doing some fiberglassing work over here, painting this part, sanding these parts. Like, this would work if they all have their own artificial intelligence and they all have their own webcams, and I can verbally instruct all of them. I become like a robot army myself. The multitasking possibilities are incredible. Yeah, I could have Adam and a couple other humanoid robots as assistants, but they could be working on something else. This is just like a permanent portable assistance for me. This is incredible. Anytime I do projects, I'll get so spoiled. I won't be able to go back to just having 2 arms. My goodness. Imagine if I'm doing some micro soldering work and it's just a little too fine for me. I tell the robot, I want you to solder this microcontroller. And it's my own arm I'm talking to. And it will just do it. This is like a whole nother level from having an independent humanoid robot voice commanded. Like, I'd have my own arms voice commanded. Additional arms. Wow. The military applications are incredible. Can you imagine? I'm holding my gun and I'm shooting this enemy. And I tell my other 2 arms, shoot anything that moves, and they're frickin' holding other guns and shooting. But it's not breaking the robot rule where you can't have a robot shoot a firearm because they're my arms. It's connected to my body. That's a loophole. Heck, that's a loophole for a self-driving car. I can be sleeping, but as long as the arms are part of my body by definition, because I'm Dr. Octopus now, my robot arms can be steering my car. And I don't have the car be self-driving by definition because I myself am driving it with my cybernetic arms. And so I get a loophole there too. And I can do whatever I want while my cybernetic arms are driving the car for me. I'm not a sexual person, but I imagine someone might like robot arms masturbating them. I personally don't like sexual things, but that is a possibility. But let's not go there. That's irrelevant. I just am thinking thoroughly all the possibilities here. Not that they would apply to me. If I were sexual with my wife, the robot arms could be doing some pleasuring activities while my hands do other pleasuring activities. Like, I could be rubbing something and they could be rubbing something else. She could be getting rubbed every which way there is. Goodness, maybe I want my wife to have one of these. If I ever were to try to procreate, she could be massaging my back and shoulders and legs and other things all at once. Non-sexually, of course. We could do non-sexual chiropractic work style massages. Oh, and don't even get me started. If you have Dr. Octopus arms, they could massage you. I'm not talking about masturbation here. They could massage your legs, your back, your shoulders, everything while you're just walking around. Your robot arms could be giving you all kinds of massages. I'd be afraid it would get ripped off. My robot arm ripped my wiener off. Please help me, doctor. I can see it now. Sir, what are you in for today? Well, my robot arm ripped my wiener off. I don't know if I could. I think I'd rather just let it stay off than have to deal with um, facing a doctor after the fact. Well, it'd be great for self-defense. I mean, take guns out of it. I just thought military hardcore. If I got assaulted and I've got Dr. Octopus arms, I mean, these arms could be punching people, knocking them out left and right. Now, you can't. It's a liability to have a humanoid robot and have it fight people. If it hurts somebody, that's on the robot. You know, that's gonna get you in some trouble there. They could take your robot away. But if I have cybernetic arms, part of my body, and I'm defending myself, then it's treated not as a machine assaulting a person, which is more frowned upon. It's treated as I assaulted a person in self-defense, which is less frowned upon. Because by making the robot a part of myself, it gets treated by the law as being a sovereign individual with rights. Whereas a robot, if it assaults somebody, it's like, whoa, that robot's guilty until proven innocent. But a human's innocent until proven guilty. So, yeah, self-defense becomes a much bigger defensive argument that will work. So yeah, I'd have like a tool to really defend myself in an excellent way. I mean, look at Dr. Octopus. He was fighting Spider-Man, for crying out loud. My arms aren't going to be that good or that big, but the same principle applies. So, I'm loving it, man. Talk about productivity boosting. But I just love the idea that I'm just using my hands, I'm sewing something, and I'm like, hey, grab that shirt. And I'm like sewing, and then my other arm reaches out and grabs the shirt. And I'm like, hand me the shirt, and it hands it to me. And I'm like doing my thing, and then I'm like, you know what? Finish sewing this seam. And then I'm grabbing something else. Like, that's incredible. For it to hold tools for me, hand me stuff, and it's like just extra arms that I have doing this extra stuff. It's going to make me so much more efficient and productive. That's mind-boggling. Wow. I mean, I'm going to be like as good of a worker as my robots. Imagine me cutting squares. I could just be watching a movie while my robot arms cut squares. I won't have to do jack squat anymore. I'll cut the first square and then I'll be like, alright, robot arms, take over. And then I'll just be sitting there relaxing. Shoot, I can be really lazy then. Holy cow. Wow. What a life-changing thing. I can't wait now. Comma. Self-defense, comma. Automating menial tasks like polishing a car or cutting squares, comma. Holding things in place while I work on them. For example, holding up my laser printer in the air so I don't need a table. And I can work on the printer while the robot arms hold it up, comma. Hold it. Hold it. Stop listening. Can you imagine being a car mechanic and you've got Dr. Octopus arms and you have those arms lift the engine out of the car and just hold it and spin it around for you and turn it upside down and you just work on it with your other two arms? You wouldn't need a hydraulic lift. Your robot arms would be that. I mean, that'd be a really strong version, but still, like, that's incredible if you could do that as a mechanic. Wake up. Give myself massages, comma. Give wife massages, non-sexually, comma. Painting a wall really quickly, comma. Painting a painting at double the speed, comma. Sanding or grinding along with me to get the grinding and sanding work done faster on a part, comma. Etc. Press home. Press space. Stop listening. You know, I'm gonna look weird as hell, though. I feel like a real-life supervillain. I mean, imagine me streaming, and I've got robot arms attached to me, and humanoid robots walking in the background. I've got 4 arms, looking like Goro from Mortal Kombat. And I'm, like, multitasking with all my robotic, cybernetic stuff. I'm gonna look weird. I mean, I guess I'm kind of already weird, but for crying out loud, like, people on Twitch are going to be really taken aback by that. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Gosh. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Wow. I love it, man. I love it. Robot arms to beat my kids. Hey, I didn't do it, officer. My robot arm did it. It was malfunctioning. They're not gonna strangle me. I was just thinking that, Jens. That's hilarious. I was picturing running down the road like a spider, kind of flying like Superman, my body parallel to the ground, and my robot arms just running. Goodness, I would look really weird, I think. One of these robot arms you finished? Well, it's very near to the bottom of the to-do list, so, I mean, at least... I mean, it's not even going to get looked at for years. But I'll get it done. You see, when I have a robot army, my to-do list is going to fall so fast. Adam can build me the robot arms. You guys don't realize things are going to start happening at lightning speed after a certain point. Because I'm going to have robot arm or actual robots building me all my ideas, so I can just keep piling on the ideas, and I'm going to have the means to produce anything very quickly. I'm becoming a master of all material sciences, of all technologies, and I'll be able to make machines that make machines that make machines, and it's all just going to just happen in the blink of an eye one day. You guys will see product after product after prototype after whatever rolling out, and I'll be unstoppable. For crying out loud, now at this point I'm going to have robot arms. I could be sleeping in my bed and they can be like building stuff. I'll have extra arms that can be working night and day while I sleep, attached to my own body. Imagine how productive I'll be. Gosh, if my dad sees me with 4 arms, he's gonna think I'm really weird. I'm gonna be seen as a very weird person now. I feel like I won't be able to go out in public without people giving me a second glance. I'll be like, are people staring at me because I'm really good looking, or because I have 4 arms? Either way, that's fine. I'll take it. Wow, think of how extra set of arms would help me for like working on Adam. I'd have 2 arms that can lift Adam and turn him and stuff, and 2 other arms that can work on Adam. That's incredible. Like, I won't need a table or workbench. I'll just be able to lay down in my chair with my robot arms holding things up while I work on them, and I can have it bring it in close so I can see closer and stuff. It's going to be awesome. Mike, that was such a fantastic contribution to the cause. Wake up. Stop listening. Actually, it's not at the bottom of my to-do list. I've added several things since the exoskeleton, so that's part of the exoskeleton, so it's going to get done before the bottom, at least. McDonald's would for sure hire me if I had 4 arms. I'll tell them I can flip burgers and flip fries at the same time. I'll be guaranteed a job. I mean, the best part about being a cyborg with 4 arms is I can flip burgers while playing on Twitter and Facebook. I could, like, do my job at McDonald's while researching robotics and stuff. I could be a full-time employee, and my robot automated aspects of my body could be performing my job functions while my mind and my other hands are freed to do whatever I want. I don't think I could do like product fabrication over the food, so it's not like I could be sanding fiberglass while flipping burgers with my robot arms. But what I could do is be on a smartphone learning, researching and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. And I could be like writing down my ideas and stuff. Wake up. The robot arms could also drive my car. While I myself am sleeping or watching a movie. And this would get by the loophole of a self-driving car being homemade being illegal, because my own arms are doing the driving, and so the car is not actually self-driving. Press semicolon. Another legal loophole is that my robotic arms could shoot a rifle or bow for hunting. Press delete. And so I could be sleeping up in a deer stand or watching a movie while my robot arms take out the deer for me when they see it come by. And that would be completely legal. Stop listening. You're right, for eating. Oh my gosh. Oh, I've got to add that. Holy cow. Wake up. Would also be great for feeding me so that I can watch a movie while shoveling ice cream into my mouth without having to move my arms. Arms. Talk about lazy enablement. Oh my gosh. Stop listening. There's actually a book, there's a verse in Proverbs in the Bible where Solomon says that the sluggard, the lazy sluggard, is so lazy that they reach their hand into the bowl to grab some choice food, but they're too lazy to bring their hand to their mouth to actually eat the food they grabbed. That will be me. Except I won't need to move my arm to get the food into my mouth. Oh man. That's incredible. Hey, has anybody ever tried to make a Dr. Octopus in real life that's useful and functional like I'm proposing doing? I mean, I'm dead serious. I'm building this for sure, 100%. Is there any other Dr. Octopus dudes out there in real life? Has anybody actually thought, you know what, that comic's onto something. It'd be nice to have an extra several arms helping me out. I mean, for sure, I'm in. I'm doing it. I just want to know, will I be the first? Good to know, Jens. Imagine how much better you'll be at working on projects with extra arms handing you tools and stuff. When you're done with a tool, you could just flip it up in the air, hold your hand out for the next one, start using it, flip it up in there, and the robot arm catches it in midair and puts it away. Can you imagine? Just the grabbing and putting away of tools. And I mean putting them away, not just tossing them in a pile. Like, everything could be put neatly away in order by the robot arms while you continue working with the next tool. It would just make you so much more efficient. You could have the robot arm have an impact drill mode where it goes really hard, and it can like turn screws on rusty bolts and whatever using hand tools. It would like be capable of unbolting stuff by hand just using its sheer strength. That's more than a human strength. Be great for mechanics. Ha! You wouldn't even need a drill. You could just hand the robot arm a drill bit and just have it. I mean, depending on how the arm was designed. If it's designed like a human hand, it wouldn't work. But if you gave it a rotational wrist joint like a lot of robots have, it could just drill a drill in just by holding it with its index finger and thumb. It could just start spinning and drill a drill right in. That'd be hilarious to drill and tap with your robot arm. How much weight could these arms lift? Well, because you'd be wearing an exosuit anchoring you into the ground really well with your legs, there really wouldn't be any limit. It'd be as strong as a hydraulic lift if you wanted to make it hydraulic. But my personal arm choice would be just all electronics. I'm not going to do anything hydraulic. It's just my preference. Hydraulics just get too messy, too big, too heavy. I'm not into it. But so they'd be able to lift. I don't know. It'd be just whatever atom could lift. They'd be able to lift using cordless drill motors and lithium batteries. Whatever that could get up to. I'm not sure. I haven't tested atom yet. We might be looking at probably human level strength. Whatever you can lift, they'd be able to lift. So your arms combined with the exoskeleton arms, it'd double your strength. The robot arms would have your normal strength. Now, but what I was proposing with like being able to lift a printer and stuff like that is if you needed it for your application, you could make a version of this with hydraulic arms that actually could lift, a car engine or something. I wouldn't personally build that for myself because I don't want my body day-to-day life to be as heavy as a tractor and making all that noise and stuff or whatever. I mean, it might not make a lot of noise, but I don't want to become like an industrial machine where, oops, I accidentally just punched a hole through a wall. Or, oops, I just accidentally punched my wife's head clear off her body. Like, oops, there's just a pile of blood and matter all over my wall because I turned around too fast. Like, I don't want to be that strong anyways. That's ridiculous. You'd be killing people on accident if you're around people. So I just want mine to be, like about human strength, so it's not so dangerous and big and heavy duty like hydraulic stuff would be. But if I needed to create a second set of exo arms and stuff for car work, where I wanted to lift tires and do all kinds of like crazy stuff, really, really strong, I could do another version, but I don't think that would be necessary. It might be nice for certain lines of work. Like if you're a ditch digger, you might want some hydraulic based arms so you could dig ditches like insanely efficiently and fast. But I really think that just normal hydraulic arms would be able to dig plenty with just normal human strength. It just wouldn't be like insane. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't go to jail for punching your wife's head off for back talking, as long as you could blame it on your robot arms. Hey, don't blame me. Blame DeWalt. They made their motors too strong. It's not my fault. Man, there's just so much stuff you could do so nonchalantly. Like, you could go fishing, and your robot arms could reel in the fish, and you could just be sleeping. Or watching a movie. I mean, fishing gets boring at times. The robot arms could really be paying attention to that bobber. And you could be just like people watching, checking out the babes walking by, while your robot arms take care of all the reeling the fish in and stuff. I mean, you might want to reel the fish in, but let the robot arm handle the rest. You just get to do the exciting part. You watch movies while you wait. Or you could be eating a meal and stuff, or working on a project with your other active hands while the robot arms hold the fishing rod. I mean, or how about if you have kids and they're too scared to touch the worms? I always have to reel in my fishing pole and set it down so that I can fix their tangled line and get them set up with a hook, and then they take it out and cast. Well, I could have my robot arms hold my pole and keep me actively fishing while I work on fixing their tangled mess and getting their hook on. So this way I could be a more efficient fisherman, being able to multitask better. I mean, the possibilities just keep going and going. It's incredible. Or for kayaking, whitewater kayaking, I could have my robot arms do the paddling for me when I get tired. I could just be sitting there watching the scenery. The robot arms could be maneuvering and all this stuff. That'd be pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. Janitor one's back.
This is gonna make me so lazy. Everything I'll do, I'll be like, do I want to do this with my arms, or do I just let my robot arms do it? And I feel I would too often say, I'll just let the robot arms do it, and my arms will just atrophy into like nothing. Well, but that's what weightlifting's for, right?
What if there actually was a gym? Should I check for a gym? Because
I'll still exercise.
I don't feel like there is a gym.
Man, I can't believe it. At first glance, when Mike said, "Why not make it a Dr. Octopus?" I thought that was so stupid. Like I was like borderline annoyed. Like, come on, Mike. I'm serious. I'm building an exosuit. But it just took me a couple seconds to consider a couple things, and then just the world of possibilities just started blowing up. And now, I can't imagine an exosuit without extra arms. Like, what a waste. Plus, I mean, the technology I'd be developing on my extra arms, I'd be perfecting those algorithms and the AI and stuff, and that would go a long way toward bolstering prosthetic limbs technology, because I would have years of experience of perfecting my stuff, and so when I sell a prosthetic limb, I'll be able to stand behind its precision, accuracy, and quality, because I myself am using my own prosthetic limbs every day, making them better and better for myself, so my clients can get software updates as I improve my stuff. Because I'm sure I'll be selling prosthetic limbs. I think that's on my to-do list. It should be. That does not count as exercise, Jens. I have to do it for it to be exercise. Imagine me eating donuts while my robot arms are lifting weights. It doesn't work that way. I'd still get fat and muscle atrophy if all I do is watch TV and eat donuts and I'm lifting heavy weights with my robot arms. I mean, although technically I would be really strong, but it just wouldn't be me. I mean, unless if you... It depends. Do you see the robot arms as me or not? Because if they really are my arms, then I could be super fit. Even though I personally... Like, my flesh arms could suck, but my robot arms could be great. What if I just let my arms and legs atrophy so much that I just said, heck with it, I just chop them off and replace them with robot arms? But is that blasphemy? There might be some long-term health, like phantom pains and stuff, some reasons you wouldn't want to do that electively. But, yeah, that's interesting, like, to upgrade yourself to cybernetics. But where does it stop? Do I really want to turn myself into a robot? I like the idea of enhancing my body, but I don't know if I want to convert it. Hey, if my body was a robot, I would never have to move again. Talk about lazy. I would, like, just be a brain. And you guys know I don't mind mental work. I can go all day. And then my body would just be a robot. But it's important to differentiate. I'm dead serious about all these technologies. I'm really going to do them, but I'm not doing that one because I don't think it's morally acceptable. I think I should be thankful for the body I have. I do want to stay in shape and physically fit to an extreme degree. The exosuit is just to enhance my natural abilities, not replace them. And I'm not planning to replace my body with a robot body. And I, at this time, am not sure on the technology to do something like that. Like, I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole, so to speak. Especially since I don't need to. For myself. I mean, for some people, you want cybernetics to interface with their minds somehow, who have lost limbs, to give them artificial limbs, endoskeletons. But like, I can't legally make endoskeletons for clients, unless if some medical school gave me an honorary degree, hint hint, which would, I guess, make it legal for me to practice medicine. So if someone out there is listening, hook a brother up so I can start doing clinical trials. It's for the betterment of humanity. Just make me a doctor already. Yeah, I'd be able to slap a lot of high fives very quickly. Check this out. So you know how hunters have clay pigeons, which is just a clay disc that's thrown by a machine, and then you fire your weapon at it and you can shoot it. Well, with my robot arms, I'd have a built-in clay pigeon firer, so I can be holding my rifle, and I'll say pull, and my robot arm will sidearm throw a clay pigeon, and I can aim and shoot at it. So I'd have like the ultimate hunter training capability for myself.